Ah yes, building an SUV because why not? It's so much fun. They said it'll be fine. They said, but I actually have a plan for today. We are gonna build what I would call the best SUV. I'm not biased at all. Nothing like that. I would never be biased towards myself. Never. All jokes, all jokes. But no, seriously, I'm gonna try and build an SUV that I think is an absolute monster and that can hopefully handle some fun off-roady bits. Maybe. I'll get to that in a soon. So yeah, my engine that we're going to use for this particular video, I think we're going to do something out of the ordinary. So I think we're going to do a very large displacement V8, which is our 5.2, so humongous. Anyway, we're gonna do a advanced auto 10 speed because reliability, and also who needs only 6 speeds? I need all of them. With a gear ratio that gives us about 550 kilometers an hour, which I think is about 300, just over 300 or 400 miles an hour. I'm not too sure. I'm not a human calculator. I'm just a dude on the internet building stupid vehicles and making them very, 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 very fast. Ah yes, this is gonna be so much fun. So I'm gonna get back to all the modifications that I want to do to this thing, meaning all the setups and all that. I'll do rough setups now, but mostly that's why I've got the build once it's fully done, in a sense. Well, fully set up. That makes sense. If it doesn't, well, oh shit. It'll be fine, don't worry. So we're gonna do a boatload of cooling capacity because that's a giant engine for what it makes for horsepower. I mean, as you can see there's some miscommunications already between the turbocharger and the wheel. We might have to do some engine spaces, very, very wide ones, but once again, semantics, we'll get there. Brake flow I'm also gonna do about 90%, just to keep this thing sort of usable. So it's going to be a 3-row SUV with a set of captain's chairs in the center and also in the front. So it's a total of 7 people. We're going to make this thing very luxurious with a luxury HUD. And for infotainment and all that stuff, that's already selected. Okay, so we're going to do electric variable with DC and also ABS, with dash control and ABS. Make it somewhat reliable, and also we're gonna do advanced safety just to make this thing look and feel and work correctly. This thing already weighs 2.8 tons, which that's that's too much for our. It's actually no, it's a little bit compared to our power. I think we have double the amount of power than we have exact numbers. Well, I'll figure that out once I'm done with it. So this is gonna be more comfort. I don't think comfort's gonna work. I think we're gonna have to do a little more sporty setup. Again, that's too low. So we're gonna raise this thing till about there because I'm gonna fit bigger wheels and tires underneath it. So something like that is mucho perfect. Let's see. What does it cost? Okay, it's a little bit of money. Let's see what its performance stats are. So let's see how much power we've got per ton. So per kilo we have 1.45 horsepower per kilo. At a top speed of 381 kilometers an hour in a 7-row SUV. That's taking the track arc and increasing the horsepower by a whole crap load basically. Okay, so we're gonna quickly run through the setups just to get this thing absolutely dialed. So I'm going to lower our top speed a little bit and also bring in the spread very, very closely, because once you get up in that high top speed range, it starts to want to shift less and less, because it's, well, not really less and less, it's your drag coefficient versus your power versus the size and shape of your vehicle typically plays a big role. That's just some of the stuff I know about it. I'm no math genius, I'm just a simple guy. So let's see. So I'm gonna leave that there without getting too much into it. I'm also gonna make it a rear biased for power, so 40-60 split is fine. Then I'm gonna mess with the tires. Like I said, I need to do some engine spaces because those turbochargers are gonna get hot. So let's see if we can maybe do that. We can only offset it a little bit, which that's annoying. Can't do offset in the rear, which is kinda crazy. So I'm gonna have to do some fender, a little wider. Okay, I mean that doesn't look terrible, but yeah, it's fine. I think we can rock that. And I have to make them a little wider than the fronts because I need a giant ass tire on the rear. Something like that. We can make it longer as well. Hehe. Let's make it boat length. Also gonna bring that. No, let's make this a little wider. Something like that. The game's probably gonna hate me because of the over fender, but you know, we can bring that to about there. That's fine. Okay. So next up is brakes. I don't think we're gonna need to mess with braking too much, because this is our brake load. Okay, it's pretty good. It's a whole, it's a lot. So I'm gonna increase the force in the rear a little bit, as well as the front. But not too much. We don't want this thing to break. It's, well, brakes. Sometimes you overcome your tires, essentially. That's why if you brake too hard and the vehicle does not have ABS, the tires typically get flat spotted. At least that's what I know about it. Once again, not that smart when it comes to these things. But yeah, still, that still concerns me. If I take the body off, which I think I can do here, yeah, that's a concern. It's not like it's gonna melt the tire or anything. And also the exhaust is gonna be something that I do later on because I want the look to be perfect first. Which actually, this engine does fit in this chassis pretty easily. So that's kinda crazy. But anyway, back to features. So something that is sensible is gonna have, well, firstly, door handles. Because duh, you need to get in and out. So I think I'll do these. Maybe, no. We're gonna stick more with a truck style handle, so something like that. And we're gonna do something like that. And then move it over here. And why did that do that? Okay, that's fine. Okay, hopefully not break it. Perfect. So that actually doesn't look too terrible. Looks pretty good. Next up is mirrors. Normal people would start out the front and try and set up the front to make it look all nice on the front. No, I start in the center with the door handles. As for me, if I'm getting in and out of vehicle pretty often, it should have crisp door handles when it opens and closes. It's a weird thing, I know, but still, I like it that way. And also mirrors. Mirrors are important. You have to be able to see what you're doing behind you. Especially if you're reversing a big vehicle that is, well, 2.8 tons, which that's 5,000 pounds, just 4,000 pounds, something like that. It's a beefy SUV. It's taken shape pretty good, so yeah, I like that. Next up, we're gonna do the front, which I'm gonna do some custom stuff, but I firstly want to get the look correct. Because the worst thing, a vehicle can be absolutely awesome, but if it looks like absolute shite, then why keep it around? I don't like those lights annoy me. I think these would work. Let's see. I hate the square LEDs, yeah, okay, those would probably fit the look I'm going for. Yeah, these are too dumb. No, that's dumb. I'm gonna do... I think it's my time to do some custom stuff. Yeah, here we go. Proceed to do dumb things. Let's see, let's use the square bucket, rectangular bucket actually. We're gonna flip it 90 degrees, something like that. We're on the outer. Actually make it a little wider. Something like that. I like where this is going. Okay. So we're gonna do these in a running light. Look at eyes white, perfect. Headlight, perfect. So we're gonna start with something like that. This would look absolutely crazy once it's done. Then we can do some trickery with this. Although I want this as my light. I don't know. No. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna simply do something like this actually, but done in my unique flavor. So we're gonna flip this way and then flip it horizontally. I don't like how that looks. Okay. Do that. Perfect. Now it looks like it has freaking eyebrows. No. This is gonna take a while to figure this shit out. There we go. So I think if we do something like this, that's more an angle style light but with a little bit of a twist. If we bring this up to about there, where it looks like it's about 90 degrees, then I think we can rock it that way. Oh, this is gonna actually look pretty good, I think. Make it look very, very interesting. Okay. Yeah, alright. So we're gonna start with that. I am gonna do a filler light in here as well. But for now, I'm gonna do something like this. Nice eyes white. I'm gonna make this my running light. And also, if you did not really realize, ooh, that actually looks good. Anyway, getting squirrel moment here. BeamNG automation had an update where if you're doing custom lights like this, you don't have to cycle through the whole light fixtures and also what the light specifically is for. Now you literally go click here like I did and then you select whatever you need. So I need my indicator now. So that's gonna be a bright orange, something like that. No, I don't like that. That looks good. So now I'm just gonna make it fit, which is making it a little smaller that way and also a little shorter. That's too much. This is the trick now. To get it to align perfectly is always a tricky bit. But I think that actually looks pretty good. So now I'm gonna do my filler lights. That's gonna be, well, my high beams and low beams are gonna be the filler pieces that go in here, with a bit of trickery. But I want to firstly see how the indicators look with them like that. Oh wow. That actually looks pretty good. Imagine this SUV in a bright color, something like an ice white or a bright pink or a purple or a blue, something like that. Would look absolutely insane. I'm just going to turn the running light off. That thing is bright as hell. So now we can do our filler lights, which are going to be a mixture between some of these, but flipped that way. Basically a cap end, as I like to call these. Also make them a little bit shorter. Also going to angle them in quite a bit. So I think we do something like that. That would look freaking awesome. It's a little taller as well. I think that might be too much. Yeah, it is a little much. Right, that's perfect. You sometimes don't want these ends to look like this, but I think for the SUV style I'm going with, it will be fine. Also gonna do a bright white light. all that rhymed. Why does it rhyme? It's bad. Anyway. I'm going to do a filler piece as well. It's also going to be the same type of setup as we did with our main light. Something like that. It looks kind of good. I don't mind it. It looks kind of good. We can do our filler light, which is going to be a bunch of square lights, something like that. As well, these are just going to be my main lights. I'm just going to leave them like that. Do 2 of these and then do a custom one at the bottom. So I think that would look phenomenal. Yeah, something like that. I think that looks good. Let's see them on. So there we have our running light. That thing's bright. Okay, then we have our lights. That from a distance looks good. So we're gonna do a filler piece and all that. That's pretty good. I like that. So now we can go and do our veins in the front, which I think, to stick with the luxury feel, we're gonna do something that is like this. Let's see. I like the squareness, but the squareness is too much. Let's actually do this grill. I like this one. I think this one would fit this car pretty darn well. Yeah, something like this would look... I think it would look good. No, it does not. It looks absolutely horrible. No. No. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of tricky now. I don't know what light style to go with. Oh, light style. I mean grill style. I think 2 of these would be good. One this way, and then we copy it, and then we flip it. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. Looks pretty good. There's no excuse for cooling capacity now. That's the best way I'll put it. It's gonna be crazy. So now we're just gonna do a regular style front grill, like something like this. Just something generic. It was designed to look good. So yeah, there we go. There's our front end. Looks pretty good. And I'm just gonna turn those lights off because those lights are bright as hell. Let's turn those on and these on. Oh, that's good. Perfect. Okay. Next we're gonna move to the back. Because the back, I think we're just gonna use standard lights on the back. I think that would be perfect. I want a big style, like big bulky style light. That's too much. So something like this. It's like a big light that's literally meant for this type of SUV, but also, you know, ginormous. If someone rear-ends you in this thing, that person is blind. Because this thing's gonna have more than enough light to warn off any particularly bad things. It's gonna be freaking different. We'll do a different style of light like this. Perfect. So we do this one. Okay, that's not looking too good. Why is that way? Need it like that. Actually, not like that. That's fine. Just turn on the brake light to see. Okay, and these. Tail lights, indicators. Okay, no. We're gonna have to change the main lights. These ones are my reverse. No, okay, these are tail lights. Why are these tail lights? These should be reverse lights. That's freaking interesting. Reverse lights. Yeah, those are reverse lights. These are main brake lights. Okay, and that's our main brake housing. Okay, that's interesting. Alright. There's quite a lot of lights on this thing, as you can see. Well, on this particular one light is already too much. So, let's fix the indicators as well. I'm gonna do these. I think these are fine. That's nice and bright. You can see these from a distance away. Actually looks like a Jeep from the rear, now that I really think about it. This is where my custom trickery is gonna come in again. Let's do lower style. Actually no. Let's do a crossover light that goes into the tailgate itself. Something like this. We do these as main brake lights. There we go. I'm just gonna do a slightly lower piece. Actually no. Let's not do these this way, but rather do these. I think these would look the best. Something like that. But these as well, brake lights, like that. We can make these a little lower and tuck in right there. No. Maybe a little lower. Something like that. No, that looks stupid. Okay, no. No. I'm not doing these lights. I am, however, gonna do this. I think that would be fine. We take these, make them a little bigger. Then we tuck them up in the window itself. I think that would look pretty good. Something like that, like a secondary set of high brake lights, if that makes sense. Best way I'll put it. Let's leave that one there. Make it a brake light. Just want to see how bright that is. Yeah, okay, that's plenty bright. Okay, so that's where I'm gonna leave the back lights now. We're gonna move to the wheels. Let's see. Wheels, I'm gonna go simple. Something simple, classy, and elegant. So I think I said to make it look like a different style. Oh, okay, that actually looks pretty good. Now we bump the beefy tires up again. They can fit 20-inch tires, or rather 20-inch rims on this thing. 21s. I believe that's the new standard, is 21 or 22-inch wheels and tires. Okay, that looks good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Just gonna turn off all the lights, as they are blinding. Okay. So next we're gonna do a rear lower bumper. So something that is very, very plain, but also pretty good, I'd say. Something like this. Okay, without it breaking the actual body of the vehicle. Something like this would be fine. I think that looks pretty good. Now for the exhaust. I said it's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be something crazy now. What I'm planning to do is use some of these, I think. Okay, no, we can use this. And I mount this guy like that. Okay. If the game decides to freak out, it's fine. If you got an engine that's this big, you have to let people know exactly what you're driving. So yeah. Actually, I'm not going to use these ones. These ones are very, very, very a big pain in my ass to work with, so I'm going to do this style. Something that can actually be fit into the door frame if we need it to be. So yeah, something like that. But I'm going to angle it more towards the back tire. I think that would look good. Let's see. So we're gonna keep that there. Scale, okay. Why can't I rotate this now? Okay. Just gonna set this back to 0. Because it does not want to play nicely. Some way to angle it, I know it. We want it on the green axis. Let's rotate at 5. Okay, that did not help. Red axis maybe? 5. 5 again. This is starting to bug me. I can't figure this out. Why? Okay. Well, I think I am on the right track though. Okay, anyway. I'm not gonna mess with it too much. I'm just gonna add it to the other side as well. Make it a little larger. But this will guarantee when you step out you burn your leg. We probably should fix that, but who really cares? I think that looks pretty good. So as I said, this thing is probably gonna, well, did I fix everything? Did I add everything that I wanted to add? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna watch this thing go around the track. Prepare your ears because it's gonna be loud as heck. Look at how much G's that thing is already pulling. That's a lot. But then again, vehicle size also counts big time. When you are doing 117 kilometers an hour through the first couple of corners, that's pretty good. This corner is a bit of a hairpin, but I think if we handle it correctly, I think we can handle this thing very nicely. Heading into the next corner. Take it a little bit low, but that corner is one of those sweeping left-handers that you really need to, actually right-hander if you look at it from a driver's perspective, but once again, this thing actually moves. You look at that, almost 300 kilometers an hour in a back straight. That's moving. Not doing too bad for time, we're at 1 minute 5 seconds, which is not terrible. And judging that this thing is a giant vehicle, that's really not bad. So I think if he pushes it a little harder here, he'll get to his number. I think if we can get a 1 minute 40, 1 minute 50, I think that would be pretty darn good for a big ass SUV. It's accelerating nicely. When this is done, I'm going to go and review and see exactly what the 0 to 60 time is. This is turning very good. Power. Hammering it down right before the other corner, left-hander. Bit of a sweeper, but pretty good. I think we're going to get a 2 minute 10 by judging by the time. Yeah. About 2 minutes 11 about. Yeah, so 2 minute 12 is not terrible, judging by the fact that it's a big SUV. This thing is a big heavy vehicle. So yeah, like I said, I want to go and check what the 0 to 60 time is. So 0 to 100 is 3.8 seconds, 80 to 120 is 1.3 seconds. Quarter mile standing, I don't know what they factor in for this, but it's a quarter mile in 9.86 seconds. And a full mile in 16.67 seconds. That's freaking good. Body roll angle is 8.1. That's a little bit high. But you get that with the big vehicle setup. But anyway, let's quickly paint this thing because I want to see what it will look like in different colors. I actually like that. No flag at all. That's nice. That's really nice. Why is it? Alright, I just wanted to say this thing looks like it's a bit of a reverse rake. But anyway, this thing looks pretty good. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. It's a beautiful SUV for a wonderful time. This thing is an absolute animal, weighs 2.9 tons. It's an absolute beautiful machine. Anyways guys, that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do and you would like to see more of this style of video, do let me know down below. And also, if you stayed to this part of the video, hit that subscribe button because I got a feeling you'd love it around here. But anyways guys, that's all from me for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Anyways guys, bye bye.